Once in a while, during a live stream here on the channel, we have a look at some incredible Minecraft plugins suggested by you guys. Some of the plugins we stumble upon, I even end up covering in dedicated videos. But other plugins are just a bit too small. They're still very cool and fun, but don't particularly have enough content for a full-fledged video. Which is why instead of not covering them, which would be a shame, I put them together in a little list. Welcome to 5 fun and cool Minecraft plugins 3.0. Do make sure to double check if you're subbed to the channel. The vast majority of my daily viewers are actually not. Maybe you think you are, but you may not actually be in reality, so if you could just double check, I would appreciate it so much. Also, keep in mind, this list is not in any particular order, and a link to every single plugin can of course be found in the description down below. Now the first one we're gonna have a look at today is called Relish Travel, and it is a plugin that vastly improves traveling with elytras in-game. No matter if you have an elytra equipped or not. When in-game you hold shift and after that press space, you will see that something is starting to charge up. And there we go. We are now flying. I have a temporary elytra that I just received and I'm now just flying around. Now you can see what speed we're traveling at and you can also see the amount of boosts I have. To activate one, you simply want to press the sneak button once more. In my case that's shift, so I press on shift and there we go. My speed goes up tremendously and we just get a big boost, meaning we can fly for longer and all that without using a firework rocket whatsoever. Now you can only use 3 boosts. Of course that is completely customizable in the config, and after your boosts are up and if you decide to land again, you will see that suddenly my elytra is once again gone. But of course, if you have an elytra, you can also use your own. You will see that it also of course just works. We're flying, we're having fun, and we can now just go and explore the world. Now this makes it so everyone in your server is able to fly if they want, even if they don't have an elytra yet. And these additional boosts are really nice, especially if your firework rocket farm is not yet done. Now everything is of course customizable, from the launch cooldown, so how often you can launch yourself into the air, to the amount of times you can boost. Everything you can customize in the config. Really cool and simple plugin, but a very fun one nonetheless. You may be interested, do check it out if you are. Now the next plugin on today's list is named Orderium, and it is a plugin that allows players to create and deliver orders from other players. Now what is an order, you may wonder? Let me show you. So when we in chat type /order, it will open up the orders menu. Over here we're able to see all available orders, which currently is none. But we can click on the little chest here that says your orders, and over here we can then create one. So what is an order? Basically, we want a certain thing, but we don't want to get it ourselves, or maybe we're not able to get it ourselves. So we're simply gonna make an order and we're gonna pay someone to do it for us. So when we click on new order, we get a gigantic list with basically all items in Minecraft. It is a very big list and it will take a lot of scrolling. You can also simply search for something. So let's say we want to have a diamond. We can simply click on this sign. After that, we can type in a diamond. Just like that, we click on done, and there we go. All items with the word diamond in the name show up. So now we choose a diamond, just like that, which will then open up a new menu where we can decide the amount and the price per item. We want diamonds. We're not able to find them. How many do we need? Let's say 64. And how much money are we willing to spend per diamond? Let's say 10 money. Then now we can click on confirm, and there we go. Your order has been created. So going back to the order menu, you can see that now something shows up. It is a diamond. 0 out of 64 have been delivered, which means from the $640 I'm in total gonna be paying, 0 has been paid yet. And this menu, everyone on your server is able to see, and everyone is able to deliver these 64 diamonds to me. So here I am on the server with my alt Bradshop, and when Bradshop opens the orders menu, he can see my request. Sounds like a great deal. So over here I can simply click on the order, which will then open up a new menu. Over here we can now drag the diamonds I want to deliver in. After that we exit the menu, which will then open up this dialog saying you are delivering 32 diamonds and you will get $320 in return. Is that what you want? Yes sir, that is what we want to do. So I'm gonna click on confirm. You earned 320 from delivering an order. When we now go back to /order, you can see that half of the diamonds have been delivered, which means half of the total prize money is now gone. From Kasai Sora's perspective, we can see that indeed half of them have been delivered. And when we go to my orders, you can see the status of my order here. Also that it will still be available for, well, 7 more days. But when we click on this order, we're able to either cancel it or collect the items. When we click on collect items, we're able to choose how many we want to withdraw. I'm gonna do all 32. We're gonna click on confirm, and there we go. 32 diamonds, here they are. And those are the basics of this plugin. There's of course a lot you can customize in the config, and it even supports custom items added by custom content plugins. So there's a lot you can do with it, and a really cool plugin, I would say. Definitely give it a shot. Now the third plugin of today is none other than Stand-In, a Minecraft plugin that, in their own words, is all about manipulating entities for visual effects. Now what does that mean in practice? When in Minecraft I grab an armor stand and I place it down. Now it is just a simple armor stand, that's all it's about. But when we shift and right click this armor stand, you can see a whole menu pops up, which allows us to customize different aspects of this armor stand, including visibility, if it can move, gravity, base plates, but also if arms should show. But what may be the most interesting part of this is that over here, when we click on change type, we're able to change it from an armor stand to a mannequin. And in case you don't know what a mannequin is, basically an NPC, a vanilla NPC. This is not an NPC added by an NPC plugin. Stand-In doesn't add NPCs or anything like that. It just makes it easier to utilize vanilla mechanics. And when we now shift and right click again, we're able to change a few settings. So I can give it a name, like a subscribe, and then a description to Kasai Sora, because I would appreciate it a lot. This of course also fully supports the mini message format, which means if I add a rainbow here, then as soon as I click on save, you can see that it is a rainbow text. And we can also add a skin by adding a Mojang username. So if I type Kasai Sora and we click on save, then now it is my skin. Over here we can also change its pose. So we can set it to a fall flying pose, which looks like this. And we can also set it to a sleeping pose, which looks like this. I think you can see you can do some pretty cool stuff with this. And currently gravity is enabled, which means that if I remove blocks beneath this NPC, it will actually fall down. But if we disable gravity, then you can see that it will just float. Like that. And we can also change it back to an armor stand. And I'm now just gonna give it a netherite chest plate, you know? I'm gonna put it on, there we go. Then we're gonna right click again. We're gonna change it back to a mannequin. And you can see that currently this NPC is wearing a netherite chest plate. And again, this is all vanilla Minecraft. Stand-In is not the plugin that adds this NPC. You can totally fine remove Stand-In from your server after you're done creating NPCs. And the NPCs will then just stay, which is really cool. Now here on the Stand-In Modrinf page, you can see that the plugin is still in early development and will evolve over time, with more features to be added, like being able to manipulate armor stand parts individually, preset armor stand poses, allowing more entity types for replacement, so not just the NPC we just saw, but also text displays, item displays, and block displays, which we've had a look at some of these earlier here on the channel, and they're really cool. And even a possible AI for mannequins, which, big question mark on this one, but it would be really cool, because then it would all be achieved in vanilla Minecraft, which would be incredible. So very promising plugin as it is, with a potential of more cool stuff in the future, definitely worth checking out. Now number 4 on today's list is a Minecraft plugin named UJobs. And it is a lightweight and very customizable jobs plugin for Minecraft. Now, what does that mean exactly? It actually reminds me a lot of Aura skills, which I've previously made a video on here on the channel. It feels somewhat like that, but way more customizable. So when we type /jobs in game, it will open up the jobs menu. Over here you can see the stats, the leaderboard, and information. Now the stats, these are all of the different types of jobs that are available. So we got hunter, then there is miner, farmer, husbandry, fisher, witcher, lumberjack, gladiator, guardian, producer, trader, and last but not least, Traveler. Now these are all different jobs, different skills you could say, that you can level up. Now when you click on one of them, it will take you to the leaderboard menu, and over here you can see which player is ranked the highest. That on its own is already really fun, because it means you can directly compete with others on the server. But when we click on this little arrow, we get taken to the information page, and over here we can see how we level up in these certain skills. So for example, if you want to level up in hunting, you have to kill any of these mobs. Yes, indeed, only hostile mobs are here, which makes this a little bit different from other skill plugins, where any use of a sword will level you up. In this case, it is all about which mobs you kill, and they will all give a different amount of XP and also a different amount of money. By left and right clicking, you can scroll through this list, and you can see, for example, that a warden gives a lot of XP, $100 and $10. So if you're good at killing those, be my guest. But what is really cool about all of this is that it is so immensely customizable. This is a showcase, not a tutorial, but I will show you the config real quick, because here you can see how easy it is to configure a job of your own. So this is the hunter job. You can see the name, you can see all of the boss bar information, which color it should be, what the icon is about. And then here we have all of the different mobs with the amount of XP and money that you receive as soon as you kill them. It is really easy to add a job of your own, or set completely custom values. You can also completely customize the level up command, so if you don't just want money and XP but you want something different, you can also set that up. And something which I also really like is the fact that this plugin actually tries to challenge you. This one actually requires you to discover numerous locations in the world and open chests there. So opening a chest in a desert temple will gain you XP. Opening a chest in an ancient city will gain you even more XP. So generally nice plugin. I might even make a dedicated video about it. Do let me know in the comments down below if you would want that. And then the last plugin on today's list is none other than Timer and Clock. A very simple plugin that adds a timer or a clock to Minecraft. So after installing the plugin when in game, you can see that currently the timer is paused. If I type /timer, it opens up a menu where I'm completely able to customize this timer. So I can edit the seconds, minutes, hours or days. We're able to change the design of the timer. We're able to change the rules of the timer. We can change the visibility and the timer direction. We can set timer goals and we can make it go up and down. And you may be like, okay, why do I care? Well, with all of these tools, you can basically do whatever you want. So yes, if we want a timer of like 1 minute and we wanted to count down, then we can now just do timer start. And there we go. We now have a timer that counts down all the way until it hits 0 and then it will stop. Simple as that. That is probably the most simple example. But we can also go to timer goals. And over here we can set a goal for the timer. For example, killing the Ender Dragon. If we turn this one on and we then start a timer, the timer will automatically stop as soon as somebody kills an Ender Dragon. In other words, this can be a speedrun timer that you use for your run to defeat the Ender Dragon. And as soon as you've killed it, the timer will automatically stop and you know exactly how long it took you. You can also do this for a Wither, you can do this for an Elder Guardian, you can do it for a Warden, so all of the bosses basically, but you can also do it for a player death. So as soon as a player dies, the timer stops. And empty server. Pause the timer when the last player leaves the server. So you can have a timer that only goes as soon as players are actually online. We can also change up the timer design. So if you don't want the timer to look like this, but you want the timer to look like this, pretty cool. Or you want it to look like this, then you can totally do that. And of course, you can create a new design if you want. You can also switch the display position between top, so at the hotbar, or down at the action bar. So if you want the timer to appear at the top of your screen, not right above your hotbar, then you can totally do that. And there are also timer rules. So this, for example, allows you to do things like freezing the world. Freeze the world as soon as the timer pauses. This will prevent any player interactions and pauses all AIs and game logics. If you want a timer and you want to be able to pause your whole server, then this will allow you to do that. Here another one, announce seed. Announce the world seed on timer fail or success in chat. Now you might be like, oh, what does that mean? Well, success is for example when a goal is reached. So what you could do is you could set up a server, you could make the goal, defeating the Ender Dragon, and then you could make it so that as soon as the Ender Dragon has been defeated and the timer has reached its goal, that then the seed of the world will be announced. So the reward for defeating the Ender Dragon will be knowing the seed of the world. For example, here another one, enter spectator mode on death. This basically turns your server into a hardcore server, where as soon as you die, you will be set to spectator mode, making your run to the Ender Dragon all the more interesting. Of course, you can also simply toggle the visibility, so currently the timer is there, and now it is not. So yeah, quite a simple Minecraft plugin, but very powerful at the same time if you know how to use all of these tools. And with that being said, that's gonna be it for today. Do make sure to subscribe to my channel, join my Discord, thank you so much channel members, and then I will see you in the next one. Bye bye, see you later, bye bye!